Bitcoin still looking pretty good here. We've got the major 2 here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We've got this more dynamic move here, shall I say, which looks like a 5 at the present moment in time. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a 1, 2, another 5 for a 1, 2, 1, 2, another 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and this has been processing team with another 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like another 1, in fact. I mean, it's getting a bit long in the tooth. It does need to be clarified, in fact. But I think, certainly the pretty good response here. This is a bit questionable, I guess. But I believe it is a tiny into crypto, even if we do go lower immediately in the shorter term. I think this is going to go up. It's just this wave count is a little bit unclear right now. All right, Ethereum also looks fairly good. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 3's a bit messy. The 1 and the 4 overlap. So again, it's not a perfect pattern. Got a clear ABC here, but this isn't necessarily the stuff of legend, or certainly isn't the stuff of legend compared to, okay, there's a 1, 2 there, another 1, 2 there perhaps, but we do need a clear thrust here, which is lacking at the moment. A very nice start. There's a very, very positive spike here, which is good news. We've come down to the 78.6 level, but the 61.8% level has held essentially because we've got 2 spikes below it. But again, we do need confirmation here on Ethereum. Right, got to the nice clear 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But quite a sharp pullback, which looks rather impulsive. So this here needs to, actually got a 1, 2, maybe a 3, possible 5. Let me just expand this chart a bit and look at it in more detail. Actually a pretty good 5. In fact, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, no overlap. 5 for the third wave. ABC for 4, and as well as jagged 5, but pretty good 5-wave count there with a ABC, B, C. I'll put the fib on that chart actually as well. And this is a very short-term chart here, so there's only a day, in fact. That's all we got here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is actually it does kiss, but it doesn't actually overlap as such. 5. So the Fibonacci 38.2 is around 1922. I mean, we are talking about quite small numbers here. So 1920 is 50%. I think 1919. So it's a very short-term pattern, but it's a pretty good 5. Having said that, short-term patterns can be very good if they're reliable, because of course you get very, very close entries, very close stops. So there's only 17 points between the 2 here. This is a 5-minute chart. But an A, B, C to around here, say 1920 odd, would allow you to buy with a 10-point stop, which is quite a nice entry if that works out. I think I'd wait for a spike. You've got quite a few points in hand, as it were, to mess around with, so I'd wait for some confirmation before getting too carried away. But that looks a fairly good pattern. So let's refresh ourselves with the longer-term pattern. We've got great big falling wedge, 5 waves up, ABC, 5 waves up. So there's certainly a case there's something quite important happening on gold, so I'd watch that short-term pattern quite closely. We're similar with a 5-wave pattern here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's get rid of this, I think. Doesn't seem to do much further. So the only problem is we've now got a continuation here. So A, B, C to there. I guess it could be an irregular ABC. A, B, C for 2. And now another thrust up, looking pretty good. So again, I think silver's giving a pretty good buy signal. Nice spike here as well as a reference point or a stop point. Again, very close stops on this, and making the entry relatively pain-free. It's supposed to be a good move. It could be a particularly good entry point. Right, FTSE, we've still got a 1, 2, 3. The 4 could actually be complete with a flat A, B, C. Got a good spike there. So we're looking for confirmation of that by a move above here. So this would be wave 5 in that case, 1, 2, the third wave due. But it's possible that the correction has a bit further to come. But all looking fairly good for one final rally coming in, which could be a major peak. Let me just check this trend line. that you haven't really broken above that, obviously. In fact, it has found support on that line in effect. I mean, not precisely, but then this is a well, but it's close. I would say it may be. I say it could be a bit more, as I may not have said, but it could go a little bit lower. But this spike is quite compelling, I think. But this line may be more relevant if we do see a fifth wave for the correction. In fact, if we see a 5 and then an ABC, that could be found support on this line. But looking pretty good at the moment on FTSE. The DAX is doing the complete opposite, really. I mean, it could be a big flat, A, B, C, but no sign of a low at this point. It's a possible 5. Well, there's a possible 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe that's a 1 with an A, B, C, 2. Also quite impulsive. Could be a 1, 2. This could be a third wave starting up. So support now is pretty critical at this. They've got treble low. Let me just put that line on the DAX. So this is key support, obviously, with 3 spikes now. So I'd say it could just be an ABC correction, a flat ABC, A, B, C. Just depends what happens here. Right now it's open to well, any action it chooses to take, really. It also looks negative with this 5 waves down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got that an irregular peak. I mean, it could be an ABC, A, B, and then the 5 wave C. That would be to there. ABC 2 wave. This looks pretty. And again, we've got this sort of key support level. Let me put that on the chart. Right, so I'd say the downs are the key decision point here, and I think the downside back is more likely to go down in the medium term. The short term, it could easily bounce, but I think the medium term, the downward trend is more likely. My friend, Nasdaq, we've got a big A wave here. It could possibly be a 5, I suppose. 1, 2, 3 with a little 4, 5, but it doesn't really affect the count too much in the medium term. ABC for a B wave, and then the big C wave coming in. Let's say this could possibly be the 5, that would need to be changed. But we've got a 1, ABC 2, 1, 2. I think 3 is still in progress. So I think we're going to take out this low here, which is currently key support. That's all for today. I hope you found that useful. Back to the report on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.